Alright guys, so today is currently September 2nd, 2024, and the following parts of the video was recorded last week, and let's just say last week didn't end too well, which is why I seem kind of depressed, but I can assure you we are all better now, so let's get to the video. Alright guys, so today is currently August 26, 2024, and this morning I took 2 trades which resulted in 2 losses. I feel like almost every past video I've started off with 2 losses, and then it honestly really sucks. It's discouraging, but here, let me show you guys. Here are the last 2 trades. It was around like a 1.8% loss on the phase 1 FTMO account. So we're currently up $40 overall on the phase 1, but you know what, we were definitely a lot higher before. And it's crazy to see that like we took 22 trades and 16 of them were losers. But as you can see, that's the power of having a positive risk to reward, which is great, but it's not great that it's slowly, my cushion is slowly diminishing. It's honestly really discouraging, and low-key I have this feeling of just, I feel like I'm slipping back. It's not great. I feel like 2 weeks ago I made a breakthrough, and today I feel like I'm reverting back to before I even knew how to trade, right? Constantly taking losses is really discouraging. Yeah, but you know what, I have to put faith in my strategy, and honestly this is the beginning of a long journey, right? So I just, I need to endure it, right? But yeah, let's get into the charts. Actually, before we start, I'll show you guys the chart on my MT5. The little arrows are showing the executions and where I got stopped out. So basically both of them, they both hit my stop losses. So yeah. So we're currently on the 1 minute chart. I know it looks pretty messy right now, but I'll slowly dissect it. The whole idea is that once London session opens, I'm looking for the 2 a.m. low or the 2 a.m. high to get swept, and then a continuation in the opposite direction. For example, if we sweep the 2 a.m. low, I'm looking for price to go higher. If price sweeps the 2 a.m. high, I'm expecting price to go lower. So at this point, I didn't really have a bias, but as you can see here, I didn't really think that we'd sweep the 2 a.m. low to continue higher, because as you can see here is the equilibrium point, and we have a 15-minute fair value gap here as well. So price retraced into this area, the 15-minute fair value gap held, and the equilibrium point got held as well. And usually when that happens, price continues higher, and vice versa if it was the opposite, right? So at this point, I didn't think we'd actually get the 2 a.m. low sweep. So price just continued higher, and I was looking for shorts once we swept the 2 a.m. high. So we also have 2 5-minute order blocks that ended up getting taken out, and we closed above it. So at that point, I'm looking for price to continue even higher. And we also swept the first buy side over here. Eventually, I was targeting the top buy side over here. Well, I was looking for an entry once price swept this area up here, right? Because usually when we sweep the highs, at this point, I'm looking for price to continue lower. We also have a 1 hour fair value gap. So it's kind of messy, but it says it's a 1 hour fair value gap right here. And basically, this 1 hour fair value gap was holding, right? So at this point, I'm looking for price to make a swing low and then a breaker structure to continue lower. We sweep the buy side up here, and the 1 hour fair value gap is holding. This is where I decide to take my trade. So price continues lower. We broke below this swing over here, and I set the limit order to this fair value gap over here. Price retraced lower and then went back up, and that's when I eventually got filled. This trade was okay. I did think this was a breaker structure, and I had a limit order entry at the fair value gap, and we also created SMTs over here. So I was looking for this to hold and for price to continue lower. But as you can see, we didn't hold and price just went straight to our stop loss. So at that point, the 3 a.m. silver bullet session ended and I still had conviction in that price would continue lower. So I end up taking another trade, which I noticed that every time I take another trade after taking the first loss, I just end up taking another one. But I feel like it's so hard because I had conviction in this trade. So basically, we went higher, I got stopped out. Price made another swing low and we displaced and broke structure, right? So at this point, I'm like, okay, we have a break of structure here and a fair value gap over here. I set a limit order at the bottom of the fair value gap and I just let price do its thing. As you can see here, we did end up getting filled and we never actually, like on the charts here, we never actually hit our stop loss, but it's just the, you know, the good old slippage, which really hurt me right here. So as you can see, the second loss was actually caused due to slippage. I mean, I already showed you guys earlier. It's the second arrow up there. So I got slipped and I was out of the trade. I took the loss and as you can see here, price just continued lower to my initial take profit. And yeah, I mean, I thought this trade would have actually played out because here we have all the sell side resting, right? We have sell side resting, we swept the buy side and we broke structure to continue lower, right? The idea was there. It was just unfortunate that we got stopped out. Man, like it's so like frustrating because I feel like I actually feel stuck, right? Like the whole, I mean, it's all a part of trading, but it just feels like my cushion is like my profit, right? I was up like 300 something. Now I'm down to $40 on the account. And seeing that get reduced it's affecting me. I feel like I'm not progressing anymore. I feel like I'm losing everything I learned, right? Like it's just, it really sucks, but I have to see, like, oh man, it honestly really sucks. I have to see this trade as a broker issue. If there was no slippage, this trade would have played out, but it's just, I got slipped. And it sucks because it's a realized loss on the account when in reality it shouldn't have been. And it's affecting me mentally because it's a loss. But realistically, this still would have been a profit, right? But I'm just like, it's affecting me mentally, which honestly really sucks. And as you can see here, yeah, we eventually swept all the sell side. It's okay, guys. There's still plenty more days left in the week and plenty more opportunities. So let's just remember to stick to our plan, keep a positive risk to reward, and just keep executing. Right? Just gotta breathe and remember that it's all part of the journey. So, yeah, I mean, I'll catch you guys in the next trade. Peace. Alright guys, so today is currently August 28th, 2024, and this morning I took 2 trades, and again, they both resulted in losses. So, there are the bottom 2 right there. We are officially negative on the phase 1 FTMO account. We're down 0.5%. And yeah, we are currently on a 6 trade losing streak. This is the longest losing streak that I've had on this account. And honestly, I'm getting tired of losing. Like, it's affecting me, but it's not affecting me as much as it used to. Because look at this. That is horrendous. And then what? I had only one trade. Like, this is basically one trade. Like, one trade that was a profit in the last like 10 days or 8 days. And then before that, we were on a 5 trade losing streak. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, let's get into it. So basically, for the first trade, I drew a fib from the bottom to the top over here. That's how I got this 0.5 equilibrium, right? And I also marked out the 9 AM high and the 9 AM low. Along with that, we have buy side and buy side up here. So when price went lower, we swept the 9 AM low, went towards equilibrium, and this 15-minute order block was holding. So at this point, I'm like, okay, it's holding. I needed to wait for a break of structure, which we eventually got right over here. There was a swing, we broke structure higher, and a fair value gap was formed right over here. So I set my limit order and I just waited. Honestly, I thought I missed out on this trade over here because price came down here once and then went higher, and I wasn't going to chase price, right? So I just set the limit order and just left it there. And as you can see, we went straight to our stop loss. That's basically it for that trade. I mean, I thought price would continue higher because we have on the higher time frame, or even here, we have resting buy side up here, right? Relative equal highs, more buy side up here, and I was targeting the 9 AM high. But this was the overall draw on liquidity, these relative equal highs up here. So yeah, I mean, that's it for the first trade. And as for the second trade, it was based off the 15-minute time frame. As you can see here, I thought that this was potentially accumulation, manipulation, and then I was looking for price to continue higher for the distribution. But as you can see, it just went lower, we got stopped out, and then honestly, I think price could potentially still go higher because we are currently in the daily fair value gap right over here. And as for the entry, like, I honestly thought this could have been a reversal point because we dipped into the daily fair value gap and price is rejecting off of it, right? Create a swing high, price breaks structure higher, and there was a fair value gap that formed right over here. So I set my limit order, and again, price went straight to my stop loss. Actually, look, we broke structure to the downside, created a fair value gap up here, price retraced into the fair value gap to continue lower. Honestly, I shouldn't have even taken this trade. It wasn't a great setup, but I mean, for the most part, like, this trade was okay. I think I followed the rules and it just did not play out. Let's just move on to the next one. All right, guys, so today is currently August 29th, 2024. This morning I took 2 trades. One resulted in a very small win and the other resulted in a very big loss. So that was horrendous. I'll show you guys. So we took a 54-cent win and then I believe a $57 loss. So yeah, let's just get into it. All right, so we're currently on the 15-minute time frame. And basically, I'm looking for price to sweep this buy side over here and then continue lower. As you can see here, price went this high without any major retracement. So at this point, I'm looking for price to continue lower to maybe equilibrium, right? That is why I marked it right over here. So let's move on to the 1-minute time frame. We marked out the 9 AM high, the 9 AM low, which is down here, and sell side, as well as SMTs that we also had right over here. As you can see, once market opened, we did sweep the 9 AM high, and we didn't actually sweep the 15-minute highs over here, but I saw price making swing lows and then displacing lower, which is why I decided to take a short entry. Along with that, we did also get SMTs. So SMTs going up here, and then SMTs going down here. So this gave me confidence in that price would continue lower, right? So at this point, swing low, displacement, there was a little fair value gap over here, which I set my limit order at, and then price continued lower to the sell side right over here. At this point, we were up like $50, which was great. Like honestly, I was like debating on whether or not I should just take profit, but that wouldn't be following my strategy. Like that would be just a 1-to-1 arm basically. That's where I was struggling in terms of taking profit or just letting it run, because if I follow my strategy, I could have gone like a higher return, right? You know what really sucked was that price continued lower. We were up $50, and then I didn't want to lose money on this trade, so I decided to move my stop loss to break even. And as you can see here, we completely just got stopped out, which really sucks. So that's what resulted in the 54-cent profit. And yeah, I mean, for this trade, like I'm honestly tired of losing, not gonna lie. Like but yeah, that was the first trade. Like I honestly had pretty high conviction for this trade, but you know, it just didn't play out as I'd hoped it would. So I'm just gonna play price forward, right? So as you can see here, this was the trade that I decided to take. Like honestly, I kind of lost faith in it. So basically, these SMTs actually didn't form when I took the first trade, right? It was taking the second trade, that's when the SMTs formed. So at this point, I was like, price was right over here. I saw the SMTs. Everything was still good to go basically. I was looking for price to continue lower after sweeping the 9 a.m. high. And yeah, so I decided to just do a market entry short right over here. And as you can see, price literally just continued higher. We literally got wicked out. The second trade, the risk to reward was like pretty terrible. I wasn't like at this point, I'm just like trying to make something, because I'm on a 7 trade losing streak. This one, regardless, I would have gotten wicked out, but it just sucks that I'm not getting it right. I know that aiming to be right all the time isn't realistic, but it just sucks when you have an idea, you place the trade, you get stopped, and then eventually it continues in your initial bias, right? Or your initial direction. Honestly, don't know. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. But like, if not, like I don't want to say I feel unlucky, because I think a few trades that I did take, or like within the past 7 trades where I did take all those losses, I think like a few of them were just unfortunate, but it still like definitely affects me mentally. I'm not saying I'm giving up. It's just when you're trying to grow, and like especially in trading, I mean, I guess you could track your trades over a long period of time and then just check on the results. But you know, winning is not always guaranteed in trading. And especially when you're having like losing streaks at the beginning of your journey, it's very discouraging. 1 minute you think you know what you're doing, and then the next minute you have a 7 trade losing streak, and it just makes you feel like you're stuck, like you're not growing at all. You could say it feels like your dreams are kind of slipping away. I think 2 weeks ago I was doing decent, right? I had a feeling of, I guess, euphoria, the feeling of I'm finally going to achieve my dream. And then the next week passes, I get kicked in the ass. This week passes, I'm getting kicked even harder. Now, I'm negative on the phase 1 account. I've been set back from where I started, right? It just feels like I did all of that for nothing, but you just got to keep going. Alright guys, so that'll be all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, not much happened in this video besides taking massive losses and, you know, me doing a little bit of a rant. But, you know what? It's all a part of the trading journey, and the ups and downs, we just gotta enjoy every bit of it. I just wanted to post this because I don't know about you guys, but I think this is the reality of trading, or at least starting out on this journey. And I mean, there are, I'm pretty sure, a lucky few who can escape the massive drawdowns, but you know, for me at least, I can't escape that. But you know what? I'm still enjoying the journey. So yeah, as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I also do have a free Discord. Link is in the description below for those of you who want to join. So yeah, anyways guys, peace.